My name is Matthew Zaragoza, 26 years old, and I am obsessed with Olivia Rodrigo. Yo, what's going on, everyone? Welcome back to the channel. You're watching Marvin, Matt, and music, but today it's just gonna be me. You're just watching Matt because I got to put out a video to talk about this Olivia Rodrigo album, Sour. Now, it is currently May 23rd. Album came out May 21st. And since then, I've just had this album on repeat, and I've had it on loop, and I've been listening to nothing but this album for the last 2 days. And I'm not scared to admit that I have a problem, that I have a little obsession with this. One of my coworkers, they mentioned that Olivia Rodrigo is not really my vibe. And you know what? They're right. But after listening to this album, she's definitely my vibe. I am into this. I am into her. I'm so excited to see where her career is going. All on board the Olivia Rodrigo hype train. Now, this album is about a teenage girl going through teenage heartbreak and every other teenage problem you can think of. So it does have a lot of that teen angst, emotional energy to it. But at the same time, it's very like mature sounding, and the lyrics and the way that the songs are written, it doesn't just sound like any other teenage pop artist out there, you know? It sounds like someone with years of experience making music, and even on top of that, years and years of experience of life. Now, the album opens up with this track called Brutal, and man, what an opening. This is a really good album opener. This is Olivia Rodrigo's debut album, and I feel like this track is her telling everyone, like, yo, I'm Olivia, this is my album, I'm here, and I'm here to stay. All right, if you don't know me, you know me now, and you're gonna know me after this album. That's the kind of energy that this track gives me here. And there's just so many quotable lines, not just from this song, but from the entire album. She says, "Who am I if not exploited?" And I think, and is like a child star. You know, she's very self-aware of everything. She says that can't even parallel park, and you know what? I can relate to that. I know a lot of people that can relate to that. She's not afraid to speak her mind on this album, you know, and let everything out there. Now, the next track is Traitor, and it moves away from that UK rock kind of style from the first track, and it moves into like a more slower, emotional song where she's really wearing her influences on her sleeve. That's another really good thing that I like about this album, is that she's not afraid to show off the artists that she idolizes, you know, and she takes elements from other artists and puts them into her own music. And this one here is very like a Taylor Swift style song. Throughout the album, yeah, there's Taylor Swift influences. I can hear the Paramore influences, of course, more on that later. Billie Eilish influences, Avril Lavigne. It's like a little bit of everything. She puts it together to create her own. Next track we have here is, of course, the global hit Driver's License, the one that really like put her on the scene at first. Now, essentially, this song and the kind of story behind it, in addition to the song itself being really, really good, are the things that I think popularized her and made her have so much momentum going into this album, you know? For those of you that don't know, I'm not going to give you the detailed rundown of it, but essentially there's some drama with her and her High School Musical series castmates. I'm sure you can find another video explaining it much better than I can, but that's pretty much it. Driver's License, if you haven't heard it by now, check it out. It's still one of the standouts on the album. Okay, next track is one called One Step Forward, Three Steps Back, more on that Taylor Swift influence, because apparently there was like a Taylor song that was sampled to make this track. So it really showcases her vocal ability because it's very bare. There's not much going on except there's like that piano accompaniment, so you can really hear her voice. You can hear how she sings. It sounds like she was punched in the gut and she's like running out of air as she's singing it, you know? It adds more texture to her voice and to the album. She does so many different styles on this album. I think that's another reason why it's so enjoyable and why it has so much replay value to it. Alright, so this track here, this one is called Deja Vu. This one was another one of the singles leading up to the album's release. And I like this one because It sounds very, very like nostalgic, very retro, very vintage in a way. Like I can just imagine this song playing in a teenage coming of age movie, which like in a way I guess that's what this album is. You know, this is a whole teenage coming of age story. You know, where she's coming into her own, not just the content of her music, but coming into her own as an artist. Again, this whole album is a statement. My name is Olivia Rodrigo, and I'm here to stay. This track here was the last single leading up to the album's release. This one is called Good For You, and this was the one that really like blew my mind. You know, this is such a good song, man. Again, there's more of that like teen angst energy, which is a good thing, you know. She's leaning into it. She's not afraid to lean into it, because again, she's just a teenager singing about normal teenage problems. So her leaning into this and almost like making it her brand, it's a good thing, you know. Like it works for her. It works really, really well. Baby, what the fuck is up with that? She's very expressive when she sings, you know. Even in the music video, she's very expressive with everything, with her face, with her actions. And I mean, she is an actor after all. All right, so this one here, this one is called Enough For You. This is another like slower song. We're slowing it down after Deja Vu, after Good For You, and now this is Enough For You. I just realized the placement of the track listing. Good For You, Enough For You. I wonder if that was intentional. It probably was. I like this one because you can really hear the growth in her. You can hear like the acceptance of the situation that she's singing about. Because for the first half of the song or so, she's like, I just wanted to be enough for you. I tried to do this and this and this for you. I was never enough, you know? And then later on in the song, she starts singing how she's like, she accepts it. And she shows that growth and she shows that maturity, because she sings like, okay, fine, I wasn't enough for you, but you know what? One day I'm gonna meet someone and I'm gonna be more than enough for them. And you're the one that's gonna be sad. You're the one that's gonna be down in the dumps. And you're gonna realize that you messed up, you know? That's what I like to see. That's the story that everyone likes to see. You like to see that growth. You like to see that development. And this is happening right here before our eyes, before our ears, you know? Enough For You. So this one here, now we have Happier. We have like the ballad of the album, in my opinion. At first, when I heard this, I was kind of like off-put, because the way that she sings the chorus, the way she sings Happier, it sounded like a little bit awkward. But it really grew on me over these last 2 days, and I like it a lot now. This is one of like my favorite tracks on the album. It's a very classic slow ballad instrumental. It's a very classic, like the way she sings it is very like classic. Everything about this song is just a perfect homage to the slow love ballads from back in the day, you know? And now Olivia Rodrigo is here and she put out her own version and she killed it. And again, she sings with someone with like years and years of experience of singing and heartbreak and life, and you can really hear all of that come through in her music. But she's only 18 years old, man. She's only 18. I'm excited to see where she's going next. All right, so this track here, this one is Jealousy. One of like my immediate standout favorites from the album on the first few listens. This one is another one where she's very self-aware, because she's singing how she's jealous of all these girls that she sees on TV and stuff, and how she's not good in this way, and she's jealous of this and she's jealous of that. But like she confidently sings that beauty is not my lack. The song is about like insecurity, but also her confidence just kind of shines through, you know? She's like, okay, sure, I'm jealous of this and this and this, but I have this going for me, and this is great, and this is why I'm great. Another one of my favorite parts of the song is this part right here, actually. And she's singing about her insecurities and like what she can change about herself, and then she sounds like she's getting more and more frustrated by it, but then the piano in the background, it like mimicked that, you know, where it's not this clean, crisp production anymore. It went off into like a chaotic piano key mashing where obviously that's not the most pleasant to hear, but in the context of the song and the context of the lyrics, I thought it worked really, really well. All right, so this track here, this one is Favorite Crime. You can hear more of those Taylor Swift influences. You can hear some of the Lorde influences as well. This track has some like interesting runs towards the end, and I think it's just another overall showcase of her vocal abilities. All right, so last track here on the album, this one is called Hope You're Okay, and this one is different because it seems like she's not really singing about a failed relationship or an ex-boyfriend or anything like that. She's singing about other friendships that she's had in her life, and how people who have previously been in her life are no longer in her life, she hopes that they're okay. I guess like another way of thinking about this is that maybe she's not singing about like old friends, but maybe she's like singing to herself, and maybe that's part of it, you know, where she's gone through all the shit that she's gone through on the album. She's experienced a heartbreak, she's experienced life, and she's accepted it, she's grown from it, and now she's telling herself like, yo, I hope you're okay, you'll move on from this, you'll be better from this, you'll be good. If that is the case, then I think that's a really good spot for the song. Like, it's a good way to end the album, end it in like a hopeful message with the look to the future. Final thoughts. I like this album a lot, man. If you haven't checked it out, you should check it out. It's only about like 35 minutes long. You might be pleasantly surprised, just like I was. If you don't like it, if you don't want to check it out, at least get familiar with the name Olivia Rodrigo. You're gonna be hearing from her for years and years to come now. She's arrived. She's here to stay. Yeah, I think we have the rise here of the next huge like teenage pop star, you know? And I'm confident in saying that. I don't think she's gonna fizzle out after this. I think it's only going up for her from here, and I'm looking forward to where it's gonna take her. All right, guys, that was the video. Thanks for watching. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe, whatever you got to do, and stay tuned for the next video.